Oh no, I know they just didn't say that. Those were the words that came out of my mouth less than 12 hours ago as I record this video. Folks, I am one pissed off vet of the United States Navy, and today you're gonna hear why. All that coming up right now. Okay, if you haven't heard, over this past July 4th weekend, two girls, Sarah Spencer and her girlfriend, on TikTok had the audacity to sing this to the tune of Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA. Roll the clip.
I'm ashamed to be an American where not all folks are free. And I won't forget the enslaved who died and built this place for free. So I proudly lift up all the folks who are still oppressed today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt this ain't our land. Fuck Trump and fuck the USA.
I mean, for crying out loud, what were those two girls thinking? I guess we heard, right? In all their woke whiteness, they did nothing but bash the United States of America and bash the presidency of the United States of America. And to me, this is highly, highly offensive, especially in the manner in which they did it. And I want to express why. Okay, but before I do that, I want to put out a really quick disclaimer. As you know, I served in the United States Navy on active duty from 88 to 97 for 8 years. But in no way, shape, or form is the United States Navy, the Marine Corps, the Army, the Air Force, the Coast Guard, its officers, enlisted people, or the civilians appointed over them, in no way, shape, or form are they condoning this message, supporting this message, or endorsing this message. These views are expressly my own. That all said, what you're about to hear, I would imagine, is probably going to be given by a bunch of people. And oh, speaking of which, if you haven't already, give this video a like, smash the subscribe button, then ring that little notification bell. Because, well, just do it. Okay, as I said, I'm a little irritated. Actually, I'm quite irritated. When I watched this video last night, I was literally thinking, oh no, they just didn't go there, did they? But they did. And I'm going to share with you why I'm so upset. It's because, well, that song is precious and near and dear to my heart, as it is probably to the countless brothers and sisters that have served in the United States Armed Forces. Because, well, many of us had to hold up the flag in boot camp above our heads at the end of what was a hellacious week of being broke down of all of our individuality and being built back up again as one team, as one unit, as one Navy, and hold up the flag of the United States of America while singing Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA. And when we did, and when I did, there wasn't a dry eye in the house. We all cried like stuck babies. To me, that flag has importance. To me, that flag has symbolism. It means something. This country means something. And I proudly served the President of the United States of America and the office for which he held. I mean, I'm going to say it right now. I don't agree with everything that President Trump says or does, but for crying out loud, he's the President of the United States. He deserves your respect. He is due your respect. That office is due your respect, whether you love him or you loathe him. And I mean loathe him with every fabric in your being. Why would you ever say, God F the President of the United States of America? And for those of you who say he's not my president, then leave. I'm just going to say it. Leave. You got the freedom to do so. If you think it's so bad here, go elsewhere. Try communist China. Try Turkey. Try Iran. Try Venezuela. Try Cuba. And see if you could make a TikTok video in those countries saying what these girls said and see if you could get away with it. Not going to happen. Here's some food for thought. When I served in the United States Navy from 94 to 97, I was stationed at Naval Station Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. And right after I took orders, a big mass exodus happened out of Haiti and out of Cuba. Over 100,000 people were fleeing tyranny and trying to leave those two countries to seek asylum in the United States of America. And I had to go to Cuba. I tried to get out of my orders and I couldn't. No, they're like, no, you took orders to Cuba, you're going. But I knew that going there meant leaving my wife and my baby girl at home and not seeing them for well over a year. I had to give up my freedom to see my wife and my daughter who is now a naval officer in the United States Navy on active duty. I watched her take her very first steps, her very first crawl, say her very first word on VHS cassette. That's how I watched my baby girl grow up. And when she met her daddy, pretty much in her memory's sake, for the very first time, the only way she knew me as Dada was from a picture that was at my wife's bedside. I gave up my freedom so those immigrants seeking asylum could make it to the United States. My wife and daughter gave up their freedom so those immigrants could seek asylum in the United States of America. I mean, if you don't like it here, go to Cuba. But why would you do that when so many people have fled that country to come here, to the land of the free, to the home of the brave? People, when you say things like these two girls did, don't you realize that people like me find it highly offensive and vile? When you say F the president, he's not my president, what you're saying is, I hate it here and I hate everything that you did. That's how I interpret it. That's how I take that. And I just find that so divisive. Why would you ever say that? Why would you ever call a human being those things? Don't you realize that you and I were each born with a divine spark, created in God's image, and we are to see one another with a divine spark that God has put within us to see each other as God sees us. Not F this and not F that, not F you and not F her or F him. No. To be human and to be honored and to be respected. And if we don't start seeing one another that way, our countries can continue to rip and divide, and we're not going to have a country to call home or freedom to anymore. You want to put this country back together again? It starts with you and it starts with me. I've been saying this for weeks. This is not the first video about this type of thing. I've had it, and I'm using the platform that I have to be able to get the message out in the way that I know how. And if you like that, then give it a thumbs up. And if you don't, I give you the freedom to give it a thumbs down. Nobody else is going to say that on YouTube, but I do. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. And if you haven't already, check this video out right up here. It's about fear and freedom in America and how we're to see one another. And oh, by the way, before you sign off, share this video with your friends and let's get the word out and let's bring healing to this country. And until I get to see you again at the end of the week, I pray that God bless you, that God bless the USA, and well, we'll see you soon.